This program brought to you by Nike and RACV Insurance. Seven Sport welcomes you to the Melbourne Cricket Ground for the VSFL Under-18 Grand Final between the Eastern Rangers and the Northern Knights.
And a very good morning, everyone, from the MCG Grand Final Day 1995. And already a huge crowd building up outside. They were lined up at about 6 o'clock this morning, the members, both the MCC and also the AFL members, and consequently many of the stands here at the MCG are already full. Certainly the Great Southern Stand is about 3/4 full with the AFL members, and they are still streaming into the ground. Our first grand final today is the Under-18s, the VSFL Grand Final for 1995, and once again it features the Northern Knights, who have won the last two flags in 1993 and 1994. Their opponents this year are the Eastern Rangers, coached by Chris Connolly. The Northern Knights got off to a very good start in the first quarter, and in fact they held the lead at quarter time. The Knights leading 3-5-23 at the first change to the Eastern Rangers 2-6-18. The Rangers finished on top of the table at the end of the home and away series, and the current score, the Knights leading 5-8-38. The margin is 8 points over the Eastern Rangers, who have scored two straight in the second quarter, 4 goals, 6, 30 points. So a close game. Red hot favourites, the Eastern Rangers, trailing at the moment by that margin. Let's go to our central commentary position now, as we say a very good morning to Peter McKenna and Terry Wheeler.
So the ball on centre wing, 8 points is the lead in favour of the Northern Knights. Very evenly contested match this is, as we see Trask coming forward onto the left foot. He brings it down, it clears the pack, the race is on. Copeland's trying to get back there. Wirrapunda gets his boot, and it just rolls alongside of the line. This is exciting young player, number 5, you see, did some wonderful things in the first term. He's already kicked a goal. But,
and taken a sensational mark, Pete.
Great mark. 7 points the Northern Knights lead by. As Penn about to bring it back into play, and he finds his mark. He finds Adrian Tallarico at half back. They were jumped early, Eastern. The first couple of goals of the game went to Northern. Oh, there's some courage being shown. A lot of courage shown by Giacomo, number 41.
He's done well in the ruck so far. Of course, tonight, Terry, have lost a couple of players, haven't they?
They have. 2 players have gone off with injuries, with their ruckman Scott Granger being one of them, so that's forced Coach Burns to make that move in the ruck position.
Now, a chance for Shane Flynn, who was best on the ground in the first quarter. Kick up towards half forward. Whitnell has taken the mark. That's Lance Whitnell, son of former Carlton player Graham Whitnell. A race for the ball out on centre wing. Daniel Lowther, the captain of the Northern Knights, leading Trent Pitts. Well, gee, that's a deliberate out of bounds, you'd have to say. Umpire's going to let it go. The umpires this afternoon are Simon Nellis and Jason Quigley. David Reid is the emergency. It's going to be a throw-in on centre wing. Umpire was Lowther again. Haydock. Kicks towards Edwards from the Eastern Rangers, and it's out of bounds.
So, Peter, the Eastern Rangers have been able to settle it down this quarter with 2 goals to match the Northern Knights, and the difference now only 7 points, so the match very well balanced.
Wigney, number 22 in the ruck. Number 11 is King with the ponytail. 1 is Haynes. Big raps on this boy too. His 3rd year in the competition. He's already played 48 games. No one can drag it in. That was Trask. Diving on it down there is Bayry.
Very good.
He was number 7 in the first quarter, but had his jumper ripped. Good tackle applied by Johnson. Ball jarred free. Umpire says that might have been a bit high.
Nick Trask was the player there, number 35 for Eastern. Just kept that ball alive, just with a quick kick off the ground. And now David Wirrapunda involved. They're the 2 keys for the Eastern forward line for mine.
Good kick up towards Dion Festini, who's already kicked 2 goals. Festini, number 31. And the ball is over the line in the forward pocket, about 15 metres from the goal. Eastern Rangers in attack. Still in the shadows of the Great Southern Stand, as I mentioned in our opening comments. The western end of that is just about full to capacity at the moment. Snap at goal. That was by King. He's missed and kicked only one behind. Clinton King, that's his second for the day. 17-year-old. His father Derek played for St Kilda, a former VFA champ.
Yes, he was a great VFA player, Derek, a Liston Trophy winner. Here's Matthew Penn about to bring him back into play. And he's coming out to the half-back area. Flynn sets himself for Eastern. Couldn't quite take the mark. It's Johnson, Andrew Johnson. Quick hair pass comes back to Flynn. Back it comes again to Flynn. Oh, clever play as he was looking down here for Kane Johnson. Taken away and given across towards Gotten. Gotten still working hard. A very, very strong body. Look, he's got 4 Eastern players to beat. King was great, but he didn't have it. Gotten went in after it. Oh, and well, Simon Mayhew was throwing his weight around a little bit there.
I reckon that's where Luke Godden would love the game, just in tight and close. He's a very hard, aggressive young man, and his tackling's good. Very sound technique.
Luke Godden, you saw their number 18. He played in their premiership side last year for the Knights. He's Pitts. And number 10 there, very pleased to see him out there, Trent Pitts, because I played with his dad at Collingwood, Jeff. Jeff played a number of games for Collingwood and a very speedy wingman.
Godden also won the Lark Medal this year for best in the carnival. So he's a very promising player. That's a good mark too, taken by Whitnall. That's Lance Whitnall.
It went 30 metres back.
He kicked it the wrong way. But
Keith Burns, the coach, would have had his heart in his mouth there, I'm sure.
Well, Penn gets rid of the footy, gets tackled. Flynn flips it up. Now Fraser. Opportunity for Johnson. Johnson goes in short, kicks to half forward. Oh, Haydock, great mark. Haydock kicks towards centre wing. Man on his own down there is Matthew Winther. Centering kick from him. He kicks up towards the edge of the square. This is Mayhew, who's just come onto the ground. Long hand pass. They're going to run it out well, the Eastern Rangers, or they should. Johnson again takes the hand pass. Kicks from a standing start up towards left half forward. Johnson again onto Haynes. Haynes up towards the full forward position. Big leap down there. That was by Coford. Couldn't take it. And they should be able to rush it through for a behind. They do. Tallarico does just that, and a rush behind to the Eastern Rangers.
The ball was alive there. Eastern really had themselves a chance, but again, the solid defence from the Northern Knights has only had it run through for a behind.
Dean Haydock, 5 points the difference. Haydock kicks from right half back, kickers towards centre wing, and the Knights, away they go again. This guy's pretty quick. Brent Harvey nearly gets dragged down that time though. Ball jarred free in the tackle. Picked up by number 15, that's Winther. Long hand pass again. Phelan has a shot at goal. And that looks pretty good.
Whether you're out back or in business, you can trust a Triton Ute.
11 points, the Knights lead. So every time Eastern do something, there's Snell going forward. The Knights seem to be able to go down and get a goal. That was Clayton punching it away. Comes back to Clayton. That was from Tallarico. Eventually a hand pass is from Penn. Further afield it comes, and a long kick comes down towards the half-forward line. That was from Plunkett, and a good mark has been taken down there for Eastern, and that is by Shane Alsop. Now the kick in towards Andrew Johnson.
He's starting to get a bit of ball this quarter.
Yes.
Very good.
They've got 2 Johnsons, Andrew and number 3, Kane. It was King laying a strong tackle. In fact, the opposite number didn't have the opposite player did not have the ball actually when he was tackled. So it's a free kick here at half back. Now he brings it across.
Tallarico was.
Well, yes, Tallarico further afield, and it's Lowther in towards the pocket. But a nice mark. He's done well since he came on. Damien Knott came on midway through the first term. Not to centre wing, but a poor kick. He's kicked it straight to Daniel Lowther, who's captain of the Northern Knights. Lowther brings it in towards half forward. It drops a little bit short. Kicked away, smothered off the boot. Here's Haydock racing in after it, grabs it on the left, brings it in, another poor kick, and the mark has been taken for Eastern, and that was by Kane Fraser, who's been an outstanding player.
He has. Oh, long hand pass by Pitts onto Knott. Brushing the tackle is King. King kicks towards half forward. Weirpunda in front. Godden. Good tackle by Weirpunda. Ball jarred free. Pitts again. Well, King it was. Centering kick from him. Punching the ball away as Cofford. And Lance Whitnell does the mopping up. Good, strong defender. Probably won't ever win a stall gift, but gee, strong. Nice big lump of a lad. Son of Graham Whitnell. This is Harvey, as we have seen earlier.
Gift, Peter. This kid
yes,
could.
he's got him on a toe, Terry, hasn't he? Long hand pass to one of the Eccles brothers. That's Paul. Kick us to half forward. Whitnell got underneath it. That was Shane Whitnell, and Allsop runs it through for a rush behind.
Loves to run with the ball, Brent Harvey. He's had a few bounces.
Yes, he does.
Today.
He has. He's been very good, and particular interest in him because actually Brent Harvey won the Ron James Medal, which is for the most outstanding player in both the Victorian, Metropolitan and country sides in the Commonwealth Cup Championships. So very promising young talent.
Cosson kicks in. Johnson in front. Got too far underneath the footy. Good mark by Dean Haydock, who played in their grand final side last year. Captain Darabin in '92, the Victorian schoolboy champions. So the defence of the Rangers under plenty of pressure. There's this 2-goal difference. They just can't seem to make up. This is Mayhew. Started on the bench. Kickers towards left half forward. Whitnell again. As I said, a good solid defender. And beats Kane Johnson to the footy, and the boundary line is too close. So a throw in 65 metres from goal. Sorry, Terry.
Yes, so Peter, there's a move that Coach Chris Connolly has made with Easton, is that Kane Johnson's gone down into centre half forward. He started in defence, and that's the position they're down at the moment. They haven't been able to get the ball fluently through centre half forward at this stage.
Prestigiacomo in front from Wigney, and the ruck duels. Kick away is by Snell, as Pete said before. Hasn't really been able to get into it. Kicked 6 goals in one game for Hawthorn reserves this year, and the free kick is going to be taken by Adrian Tallarico at right half-back. After that went out of the full. Tallarico's kick, good long kick it is too. Johnson getting underneath it. The bounce, certainly Fickle flipped the wrong way. So that was just a little bit of bad luck. Now Prestigiacomo takes the hand pass. Good tackle by Flynn. His kick inside 50. Marking contest. Nobody can take it down there. Fraser, I think, on the bottom of the pack. Good attack and a tackle applied by Phelan, and it will be a ball up just inside the 50-metre line. Brendan Phelan.
So very important for Eastern. They don't allow a goal here. Here's Flynn. Oh, he put the ball on the ground, then he was grabbed. Umpire calls play on, a quick hand pass. Grabbing it is Winther. Juves in off a hand pass. That's to Haydock. Haydock brings it in towards goal and just misses for a behind. But gee, Northern have the answers at the moment.
They do, Peter, with a scoreline of 4 goals 9 Eastern to now 6 goals 10 Northern, 16 shots to 13. Both sides are getting their opportunities. It'll be the one that settles down there and makes the most of those shots. But in general play, it just seems Northern at the moment have the upper hand.
Scott Granger there, we saw.
Yeah, well, it'd be nice to see him come back on. He damaged his elbow when he fell over taking a great mark. There's a good mark to Jukovic. Now Jukovic way out at half forward. He's gone the torpedo punt. This will probably clear the pack. Who's got the goal? Oh, good mark, Winther. Matthew Winther has kicked the goal already, and he's marked 20 metres out directly in front, and this will be a handy little break getting towards half-time.
This is a good mark, just judges the flight of it, extra little bit of lift there, and with the right hand pulls it in.
So Matthew Winther from directly in front, 20 metres out for his second, he stabs and puts it through.
2 goals to Matthew Winther, 7-10 to 4-9, and just a couple of danger signs for the Eastern Rangers. I don't think we'll be seeing too much more of Scott Granger today.
No, an unfortunate injury there to a player who was playing so very well.
He was.
You know, Northern now having kicked the last 3 goals, and Jukovic here coming back into the play, the long torpedo attempt there over the back, and a very good take there by Matthew Winther.
So back to the centre, close to half-time. In fact, only about half a minute to go. 52 plays 33 in favour of Northern, who have won the last 2 championships. Kick smothered there by Mayhew. Can they get another one, Northern, before the break? They'd love to. Phelan paddles it forward. Fraser ridden into the ground with the tackle. Gee, the tackling of Northern has been good in the second quarter. They've answered the challenge thrown up by the Rangers. Loose ball, Mayhew gathers it at centre wing. He's got some toe. Mayhew, good long kick. One out marking duel down there. Can they get one? Push. And the umpire says a push in the back against Dion Festini. And that might just about be it for the second quarter. It is. So at half-time, the Northern Knights will go in with a very handy lead. Certainly not a match-winning one at the moment, but the defending champion's doing it pretty well. There's one of the top recruits, or he will be one of the top recruits when he's drafted, David Weirpunda from Healesville, cousin of Sean Charles. But the Knights, with finals experience of plenty, a little bit too good for the Eastern Rangers, who so far have been beaten only twice during season 1995. So at half-time, it's Northern leading 7-10-52, Eastern 4-9-33.
It's 1 against 2, a battle of the best, and it's about to begin. Carlton and Geelong are coming your way soon on 7.
Welcome back to the MCG Grand Final Day 95, half-time in the VSFL Under-18 match. 19 points the difference in favour of Northern, the defending title holders. Matthew Winther has 2 goals, Paul Eccles 2, and singles to his brother Andrew, Lowther and also Phelan. And for the Eastern Rangers, the favourites in the match today, Festini has 2, Trask 1 and Weirpunda 1 goal.
The 1995 AFL Premiership season, brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors Australia, Qantas, McDonald's, Mobil, Carlton Draft and National Australia Bank.
You really can't escape the excitement of Grand Final Day, and it's building here at the MCG all the time. The western end of the southern stand just about packed with AFL members now, and so too the stands here on the northern side of the ground, with many MCC members streaming into the ground. Well, one of the more spectacular highlights of Grand Final Day is our Marks of the Year competition. Some of the great grabs taken during the course of 1995. Let's check on it right now.
The 7 Sports Mitsubishi Mark of the Year. Your phone vote could win you a Lancer GLX Coupe. Just dial the phone number you wish to vote for. Mark 1, Paul Kelly, Sydney. Mark 2, Dale Kickett, Fremantle. Mark 3, Gilbert McAdam, Brisbane. Mark 4, Kingsley Hunter, Fremantle. Mark 5, Sean Smith, Melbourne.
Well, there were some great marks there, and if you want to vote for them, there are the numbers on screen. Paul Kelly, 0055 60672. For Dale Kickett, 0055 60673. Gilbert McAdam, 0055 60674. Kingsley Hunter from Fremantle, 0055 60675. And the last one, Sean Smith from Melbourne at the Gabba, 0055 60676. There's no need to rush. Those phone lines are open until 4 o'clock this afternoon. So, as I said, go to it, but you've got all day to do just that. Well, crowd building. What's going to happen on the weather front? All important on Grand Final Day. I think the Bureau was going to forecast a few showers. Let's check with our 7 Nightly News weatherman, David Brown. What is going to happen today?
Well, Peter, the way things are shaping up, there's a little bit of cloud around at the moment, but it is quite mild, and what we'll see, the cloud will continue to build. We can see that from our latest satellite photograph. Now, we've got the radar up, in fact. That light patchy blue colour out west is, in fact, some light rain. I think during the game, we might get just 1 or 2 drops. That's about it during the second half, Peter. So overall, not a bad day. Heading for a warm top of at least 22 degrees. Might get up to 24. Currently here at the MCG, it's 17 degrees.
What about the wind, David? The Bureau was forecasting northerly winds today. Are they going to get up?
Oh, I don't think so, Pete. Look, at the moment, it's fairly calm. The northerly's just mixing down just a little bit. Gusty from times to times, but no, I don't think the wind will be a problem at all.
So it might be a brolly day later on. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, possibly, Pete, but maybe after 6 o'clock. As I said, during the game, just 1 or 2 brief drops of rain, just barely enough to wet the ground.
Sounds beautiful. Okay, David, we'll check back with you a little bit later on. Crowd building, so is the excitement. We're at half-time in the VSFL Grand Final, and we'll take a break. Back with more footy shortly.
This McAvaney has tested the track at Bathurst, but is waiting for the green light to begin the Tooheys 1000. Live and exclusive tomorrow on 7 Sport.
I'm always traveling, I love being free, and so I keep living the sun and the sea, with my heart lies waiting there over the phone. I still call
On May 19, 1995, an RACV insurance assessor went to see burglary victims in Broadmeadows. He got there to find the usual electrical goods had been stolen, along with every last stitch of the family's clothing. So our assessor wrote them a cheque there and then for $1,000, just to cover them till their claim was settled. He then organised a new microwave to be delivered that afternoon to warm the baby's food. We entrust our home assessors with chequebooks because we know you'd rather be given a cheque than the runaround. It's just one more way RACV Insurance treat you as a member, not a number.
You better make that 2.
Foster's Light Ice for extreme refreshment. Nissan Maxima's unique multi-link beam suspension provides superb ride and handling. The very clever Nissan Maxima. Just wait till you drive it.
I was almost 50 when I realised I hadn't saved enough for my retirement. It was the scariest feeling I've ever had in my life. I was struck by the thought I could end up having to rely on the pension. That's what made me go and see AMP Financial Services. They took me through a range of products incorporating shares, property. They talked me through tax and other issues, and then worked out an investment plan. With that and my super, I should be able to retire comfortably. I'll still get some pension, but it won't be all I have to live on.
To talk to AMP Financial Services, call 1800 800 882.
The 7 Sport Mitsubishi Mark of the Year. Your phone vote could win you a Lancer GLX Coupe. Just dial the phone number you wish to vote for. Mark 1, Paul Kelly, Sydney. Mark 2, Dale Kickett, Fremantle. Mark 3, Gilbert McAdam, Brisbane. Mark 4, Kingsley Hunter, Fremantle. Mark 5, Sean Smith, Melbourne.
Red hot favourites in the VSFL Under-18 Grand Final. The Eastern Rangers trailing by 19 points at the moment. The Northern Knights going for their 3rd in a row, leading by that margin at the main change. Quite a good crowd build-up here at the G so far. The western part of the Great Southern Stand is just about packed at the moment. AFL members getting here very early to secure the best vantage points. And a similar situation has occurred over on the Northern Stand, the MCC members side of the MCG here today. And they were queuing up very, very early this morning to get into the MCG when the gates officially opened just before 8 o'clock. So probably a crowd here at the moment of around about the 25,000 mark. And as I said, building all the time. And great atmosphere here this morning at the MCG. More footy coming up in just a moment. But before the game resumes here on the Under-18s, let's go to the West Coast Eagles Grand Final breakfast. And Neil Brooks is over there. Neil, good morning.
Well, thanks, Pete. You wouldn't know the West Coast Eagles weren't in the final here at the Glasshouse. 1,700 people at their breakfast, just an extravaganza. And most people here, I think, from the West, hoping for Geelong to get up, seeing it as they kind of run up to the Eagles in 92 and 1994. amazing, as I said, 1,700 people. Last year at the Eagles Breakfast, when they were in it, they had 1,860 people here at the Glasshouse. And how about this? 2,000 muffins, 2,000 fruit cups, 4,000 sausages, 450 kilos of eggs. What a morning. The atmosphere is set. There is nothing like grand final day in Melbourne. Looking forward to a huge game between Geelong and Carlton. The people here say, watch out next year because the West Coast Eagles will be back. And don't forget about those Dockers either. They're having a bit of good form. But it is a treat to be here at the Glasshouse, bringing it to you on behalf of the West Coast Eagles and their fans. Peter, back to you at the MCG.
Thanks, Brooksy. Send some of those bacon and eggs up here, will you? Well, just over the road is the AFL sensation, and that's where we find Kate PATON.
Perfectly timed in the lead up to the big day and with the school holidays. The AFL sensation is back for its second year. Already thousands have passed through its doors and more expected before it winds up at 6 o'clock tomorrow. It seems you're never too young to start. Oi! And you're never too old to make a complete goose of yourself.
3, 2, 1, pick the ball!
You can imitate your favourite players and you even get to touch them. Corey. And if you're really lucky, you can even get their autograph. Fraser, how's the RSI going? You can take on Tony Modra. Take a screamer over Wayne Carey. And do your very best to make Sandy Robertson, Ian Robertson, very nervous indeed. Have a good game.
All right, Anthony Stevens gets the ball out of the forward line and kicks down to Carey. Carey turns around. Goal! Goal!
Hey!
What a goal!
Good on you, Kate. Kate PATON of the AFL sensation and some budding commentators from tomorrow. Still half-time here at the under-18s, and as I said, the crowd building up, and they're on the road early. Geelong supporters are plenty coming to the G this afternoon, and Mark BERETTA joins them.
Yes, thanks, Pete. Well, it certainly is grand final day down here in Geelong. Since early this morning, around 7:30, thousands of Cats fans have been boarding buses and heading north up the Princes Highway to the MCG. Of course, during the week, the experts have been saying that this is Geelong's best show of their last 3 grand finals, and the Cats fans have been listening. Now, we've seen 3 grand finals in the last 6 years. What makes this one different?
It's just different. It's sort of like an eerie feeling, really. Yeah. Isn't it?
Yes, it's just coasting along, and I don't know, it just seems to be so different the last 3 years.
Yep.
What do you reckon,
They're mentally ready this time. It's been very low-key down here.
Having the break too, I think. It's just, you know, everything just seems different this year, even in the town. It hasn't sort of been a lot of real hype, has it, as other years? It's sort of been kept sort of more low-key. Yeah.
So there's a huge air of expectation down here in Kardinia Park that 32-year-old drought will be broken today. And of course the players will be leaving here, Pete, in around about an hour's time.
Gee, what's going to happen at Kardinia Park tonight if they win? We'll take a break. Back with the second half of the under-18s in just a moment.
It's up to Sydney to fly the interstate flag, and the side is fit and raring to take to the Kangaroos in the 1995 Reserves Grand Final. Coming up.
2 grand finals still to follow. The reserve grade this afternoon between North Melbourne and the Sydney Swans. There was only 1 point separating them last time they met. That is due to begin at 11 o'clock Eastern. Check your local guides. And of course the big one this afternoon, the grand final, the 1995 Geelong and Carlton. There was only 3 points the difference the last time they met. What's going to happen? Let's go down to Russell Morris on the boundary. Good morning, Fly.
Good morning, Peter. How are you going? Is it nice and early for everyone today?
Yes, beautiful.
Mate, I've got an injury report on Scott Granger. It's not a good one. He's just gone off with the in the ambulance. It looks like he's got a suspected broken upper arm above the elbow.
Oh,
you picked it earlier. He landed pretty heavily, and it doesn't look very, very good. So, obviously, no more game for Scott. But very impressive. The Northern Knights. It just proves that the underdogs on grand final day, it's all very even. So, it could go either way in the Geelong-Carlton game and also the Swans-North. So, there's no real favourites grand final day.
No, that's certainly true, Terry, isn't it?
It is, Peter, and also it's also good to see Ewan Thompson, number 42 for Northern. He went off injured with an ankle injury, but he's back on and has the job on Jason Snell, the very prolific possession winner for the Eastern Rangers in the centre.
Third quarter of the under-18s for 95. The difference is 19 points in favour of Northern Knights. They won the last 2 flags in 93 and 94. Eastern, though, have been beaten only twice this year. Opportunity for Northern to go forward again. Harvey, who likes to run with the football, as we've seen. Kick away comes from Flynn. Had a terrific first half. And a good mark has been dragged in there by Clayton.
He's been very impressive, Peter. Right from the start of the game, he's been prepared to attack the ball and give the run that Northern so desperately needed early out of defence.
So to Ian Clayton, former VFL umpire. Attempted punch away by Thompson, not effective. Haynes overruns the football. Rangers in the blue. Well, they've got the numbers at the fall of the ball here. As the kick comes up towards centre half forward. Johnson pounces on it, then applies a tackle. Fraser comes in to assist him, and also there is Lance Whitnell, number 50, and Matthew Penn, the fullback for Northern Knights, is the last to get up. Simon Nelson, Jason Quickly, the umpires this morning. Forgive me if I say this afternoon a couple of times, it's old habits die hard. Whitnell. Whitnell's kick, son of Graham Whitnell, used to play for Carlton. Number 28 there was Snell. Couldn't get the football on that occasion, but has kicked 6 goals when he played a match for Hawthorn Reserves this year. Number 42 is Ewan Thompson. Eccles. That's Paul Eccles, one of 2 Eccles brothers in the side. There's Snell this time, but not able to do too much with it, and it's out of bounds about 65 metres from goal.
Peter, Jason Snell's one of the players that Chris Connolly, the coach of Eastern, will really be looking for a lift for during this second half. He, Tim Finicaro playing also on the wing in the midfield. Both those players need to lift.
That could badly do with a couple of quick goals, Eastern, to start this quarter. There's Flynn, who's been outstanding, brings it towards centre wing. Number 20 you see on screen is Tallarico, Adrian Tallarico. That's Bayry getting it further afield to Clayton, who, as Terry said, has been very, very good. Back to Bayry. Quick hand pass. Back to Bayry again. Smothered off the boot, but it's taken by Lance Whitnell. Oh, a handball straight to the Eastern player. He's been a good player, though. A good, solid defender. Northern again. Here's a chance for Haydock right in front of goal. He's kicked it across the body, but racing in to take the mark is Whitnell.
Shane.
So Shane Whitnell is a left footer, so he's on the right side of the ground.
Oh,
now he opens up the goals, good thinking, and slams it through, I think, for a goal here. Yes.
Mobile have asked me to demonstrate exactly how many cards their card option network accepts. Fair enough. In all, it's over 300 credit NetPOS cards, including all the biggies and their reward programs, like Telstra Visa. Paying by card, sir. They take mine, they'll take yours, wherever you see card option at Mobile and Quicks.
Whitnell made the under-18 Metro combined team this year and also has played reserves for Footscray, but that lead now getting to quite substantial proportions. Knott taps it back. Haydock taps it further forward. Thompson paddles it in front of him, looks for the hand pass. Now has to try to get back onto his right foot. Where Punda got underneath the footy. Luke Godden. Godden's kicked down towards half forward. Oh, here they come again. Kicked down by Plunkett. Winther doing battle with Glenn Edwards. Edwards number 2, and takes the ball over the line.
Interesting, Pete. We know the coach is Chris Connolly for Eastern, and of course Keith Burns for Northern, but you've also got Max Richardson, chairman of selectors for Northern, and Stephen Ick for Eastern.
Yes, Stephen Ick.
Former North Melbourne and Melbourne.
That could be holding the man. We're Punda. That's Mayhew. And a long sleeve jumper, I think, before half-time. Handballs to Luke Jenkins.
Holding the ball.
He wasn't going anywhere. That's been one of the features of Northern's game today. Their tackling has been very good. That's a good mark taken by Trent Pitts. His father played for Collingwood. Pitts is kicked towards centre wing. Northern again with the numbers. Whitnell, the 2 redheads. Fraser beats him to it. Gets it back for a teammate to take it away. And it's driven away out of the fence by Knott, it was, to centre wing. The hand pass comes to Penn, well up the ground is the full back. his kickers towards left half forward, a marking contest down there, and that's something they're looking for from Jason Snell. A good strong mark at right half back. He's gone the short pass. It wasn't a good one, and the ball clears the boundary line in front of that's Johnson down there. Or is it Finacaro? Finacaro it is.
There's nothing happening for Eastern though,
No,
Terry,
just
is there?
that mark there that Snell took, Peter, what they need to do is to spin the ball around that and get some forward run rather than just kicking over the man on the mark. Eastern haven't got the power at the moment to be able to counter Northern in marking contests.
Here's Harvey. He's been running all day. Plenty of bounces. Brings it into the pocket and no mark. Needed to take that with the one bite, Eccles.
He's moved well today.
Kicked 2 goals.
Yeah,
too.
Started down to full forward and then's moved out to half forward, and from both positions he's led very, very well.
Yeah, that's Burns on screen.
Yes, and the silver hair, former Collingwood Rover, of course, and great BFA player. Now coming away with the ball here is Luke Jenkins towards the centre of the ground. The mark taken by Simon Mayhew. Now he's going on with it quickly here, but they're going to lose it again. Bayrey, the Haydock. Bayrey again out wide, chasing after it is Tallarico. Hopney's hammer. Out there is Mayhew. Taken by Tallarico.
Good tackle.
It's not, geez, there's some good players out here. Here's Bayrey again. Northern have got all the answers at the moment. Onto the left boot, down towards half forward, but the mark has been taken down here by Tom Wigney. Wigney immediately gives it across to Edwards. Edwards further afield. That was to Haynes. Haynes to Flynn. Flynn getting another kick towards centre wing. Racing after it is number 9, and that's Finacaro, but the ball beats him over the line.
In front of the very crowded part of the Great Southern Stand. Breeze actually, according to the flags on top of the scoreboard, is coming from the east at the moment. It's quite unusual. 41 is Prestigiacomo. King taken to the ground. Hacked out of there by Haydock. 2 redheads do battle. Whitnell wins it. Whitnell's kick towards centre wing. We're going to have a foot race here. See who's the quickest of this trio. We're punters in the middle. Oh, they all go down like pins in a bowling alley. Not. Number 29, dragged too high. Whitnell scoops it towards the boundary line. We're punter. Sensational skills. Well done. 16-year-old from Healesville. Potential star. Tallarico was in there. Ball flipped out the front of the pack. This is Haynes. Onto the left foot, tried to get it to Weirpunda. Number 11 is King. The Knights have the answers, it would seem. Prestigiacomo's kick, only short. Bounce is going to be a factor. Rangers are certainly giving it everything at the moment, but they just can't break the defence. Spencer's hand pass. The Knights again, Weirpunda.
Oh, he's quick.
Paddles it forward. Wigney a chance. Gets cannoned into by Phelan. Harvey, well, we've seen how quick he is. Goes solidly at the footy. Applying a tackle is Eccles, and that's effective. Eccles, number 34, gets up with the football, and it's going to be a ball up 60 metres from goal. Well, they're all going in and having a dip, Terry, and that's what you'd like to see.
Oh, they certainly are, and I think umpire Jason Quigley here, who officiated that, allowed them to all have a bit of a go at it, but correct call from the umpire there to ball it up.
Been very good, the umpires.
They have.
Yes, they've let it go, umpired sensibly. It's been a very high standard game, better than last year. Ball taken over the boundary line by Ewan Thompson, number 42, and it's going to be a throw-in right next to the interchange gates on centre wing. Eastern, goalless so far in this quarter. They trail 4-9 to 8-10. So they need to get a couple before 3/4 time to give themselves, well, just some sort of a chance. King. Kick was blocked. That could be holding the man. Umpire lets it go. Haynes going in solidly. The Rover. It's out of bounds again. Same spot.
So coming onto the ground is number 12, Matthew Power. A very quick wing player. There's Clayton. Oh, free kick. The umpire's missed. Clayton had his head ripped off, and the umpire missed it. Socket off the ground. Down towards half forward. Here's a danger player. Weirpunda. He's flattened as he kicked it down towards the pocket. But every time there's Kane Johnson trying to keep it in. But you have a look at this round the neck. You'll see it in a moment. And it started off low and then ended up high. But forward pocket, they badly need 2 or 3 quick goals, Eastern, or this game will be lost. Northern's back line has been outstanding. Whitnell gets it to Thompson. quick hand pass. There's Whitnell again. Lance Whitnell diving on it, and the umpire's going to bounce this 20 metres out from the eastern goal.
It's been good, Whitnell.
Yeah, look,
well,
Whitnell,
very promising young
Coford,
player.
Clayton. I mean, it's been a very sound defence from Northern right throughout today.
And there he is, number 50, Lance Whitnell. He's doing the ruck, he's beaten for that one though. Here's Jukovic coming across the ground, looking further afield. He's got a teammate trying to control it. That's Coford. His dad was a very good pro runner, Bruce Coford. Thrown away by Plunkett. There's Power. He was caught a little bit high, or was he? No, the umpire said it was legitimate, so he'll come in and bounce it. It's almost on centre wing. Just nothing happening for Eastern. They trail by 25 points, 4-9 to 8-10. But I think that's just says how well the Northern back line is playing. Every time they get it down there, they're under pressure. This player has been outstanding. That is Kane Fraser towards the half-forward line. Quick hand pass from Tallarico. Comes to Whitnell. Whitnell breaks away and drives it out towards centre wing. Oh, some good skill by Eccles. Quick hand pass was by Haynes. And Eastern go forward again, and a nice mark is taken down there by Penn.
Been solid at full back too. Kicks well. That one no exception. Kick towards centre wing, and as Pete said, this guy's been pretty good, Kane Fraser. Squared it. Now to Wigney. Now Power. He spent a bit of time on the bench. They need some goals. Kick towards half forward. King up high. Couldn't take it. A whistle on play. It's going to be a free kick to the Knights, and it's going to be taken by Prestigiacomo. Prestigiacomo just right of centre half back. Winther up high. Couldn't outmark Fraser. From the edge of the square. And kick towards half forward. Weopunda. Got it to his teammate in Pitts. Shuffle to the front of the pack. Comes back. Quick kick by Pitts again. Penn leading Flynn. Trask is there. Applies a tackle. Trask the blonde. This is Plunkett. He started on the bench. That could have been a little bit of a nudge in the back. The umpire says no, play on. Eccles does. Gets away from Power. Eccles kick hugs the boundary line. Wigney traps it well. Phelan comes at him. They should get away with this. That's Jenkins. Jenkins' kick is up towards midfield. Trask was the flyer. Kicked 4 goals last week. Gee, they could do with some from him today. Mayhew from left centre wing. Long kick up towards full forward, but a good mark dropping back down there is Ewan Thompson.
Yes, very poor forward play. They're failing dismally down there, Eastern. It was just kicked to the blind spot, and there was all Northern guys there. No one on the lead. They're well covered, aren't they?
They are. They haven't got that focal point up forward that they're looking for. Dion Festini's been at full forward and showed a little bit earlier, but Weopunda and Trask, the goal kickers at ground level, the ball's not really favouring them at the moment, and that's where they're struggling.
Here's a quick hand pass out to Harvey. There's Haydock to Whitnell. Oh, that's beautiful running play from the back line in towards half forward. But a safe mark has been taken down here by Tom Wigney. Now Wigney brings it to half forward, but again they're under pressure, but a good mark.
He's good this guy.
He has been not far off best on ground. Been outstanding. Fraser brings it to Trask. Trask onto the left. Kicks it wide. They want something to happen. Here's Weopunda. Oh, there's a free kick. It should have given it away. He has to Godden. This will have to come back. Weopunda. Godden's done a fair job on him.
Done a very good job. There was a period there early in the second quarter where Weopunda started to get away, but Godden has stuck to the task and been very tough and aggressive at the ball right throughout the day.
Well, he won the Lark Medal for best in the Commonwealth Bank Cup in 1995, so he's obviously a very good player. And he played in the Premiership team last year. I remember him. He played well too. The ball on centre wing. Just nothing happening at the moment. They really need a couple of quick goals to lift them, Eastern. Northern have all the answers. Here's a free kick for too high, and it'll come back to the centre wing area for free kick to Northern. So here's Andrew Eccles. A long kick down towards the half-forward line. It clears the pack. Drive it out of defence, Eastern, towards centre wing. It's smothered. Here's Trask. He's a promising young player too. It's a wobbly kick to Weopunda. Couldn't take the mark. back line has been terrific. They're trying to crash his way through with Shane Flynn. Now here's Johnson with a quick kick down towards the forward line. Again, the pressure. Oh, it's still in play. Thompson is there. Now a kick over the head. Oh, he's missed it. Snell, Jason Snell, number 28. And he's had a fairly quiet game, actually. But they're only 24 points down. They've got, well, we've played...
When here's the live ball here, and the defence tried to get it through but unable to. Perhaps Snell, once he made his feet, quick hands may have been a better option there, but to decide to drag it back over his left shoulder, but unsuccessful.
He was surprised, Terry, that it actually was still in play. It's not one of his better kicks. It finds a man in Clayton. Good tackle. Good tackle. Ball jarred free. Tackling's been a feature of Northern's play. Haynes hacks it back to the front of the goal. Fraser applies a tackle on Kofod. There is a whistle. It's going to be another Northern free kick, though, to be taken by Matthew Kofod, short of centre half back. Kofod's kick. High to the wing. Whitnell in front. Johnson behind. Couldn't take it. Spencer, that funny kicking style. Kicks towards half forward. Oh, Kofod! Yes, he's paid the mark. Good grab.
He's done well.
Well, the Knights, they've got, as Pete said, a few players back from last year. They just didn't have the nerves at the start of the game that the Eastern Rangers did. Haynes, hand pass intended for Flynn. Wasn't a good one. He was under pressure. Getting dragged down with power. Might have got a free kick. Good tackle applied by King. Tries to get it to Knott. Can they make something of this forward thrust? Plenty of hand passes. Finally a kick by Spencer. High towards the forward pocket, where Punda got nudged out by Godden that time. He's going to get the free kick. No, it's going the other way. Knights are going to run it away again. Jukovic has been pretty good to centre wing. They go forward again. Haydock takes it from Eccles. Haydock played in their premiership side last year. Not a good pass. Down towards half forward. This is Shane Whitnell. Long kick. Oh, he has a good ping at the goals and just misses, only by 1.5 metres or thereabouts. So 1 goal, 2 kicked by Shane Whitnell. Let's take a look at this from Kofod.
That's a very good mark. We can see Chris Connolly's perhaps moved Kane Fraser down into the forward line to try and get something through centre half forward, but even when he's there, Kofod and leads a very strong defence with Whitman and Clayton at this stage.
Yes, they've been killed across half forward, and Chris Connolly hasn't known what to do there because they've had all the answers. Northern, that was power. Getting it further afield to Mayhew, and then eventually it's Flynn towards the centre of the ground. You can see again the pressure as Whitnell is there. Jukovic's caught by Punda. Whitnell shuffles it out. Here's Pitts. Again, they're under enormous pressure. It's taken away by Shane Clayton, and because of that good tackling, it's allowed the ball to come out wide, and taking the ball is Harvey. In towards half forward, it's given back to Harvey. That was from Phelan. He loves to bounce the ball, Harvey. He's still going on with it. Further afield to Plunkett. Power is there. It's shuffled out, taken away, and this is by Luke Jenkins. They've got the loose man going now. Haynes, he's caught, gets his boot to it just in time, but he's lost it to Plunkett. Plunkett's seen a loose man, and he's found him in the forward pocket. This is Eccles, Andrew Eccles. Now, unselfishly, he brings it across and does the team thing, and he's given it across to Bailey, wearing number 30. He started the game in number 7. And he will kick, and one would think, I know it's early, but if he kicked this one, it would be very difficult for Eastern.
Especially as they've only kicked 4 for the game so far.
And they've had it on their forward line a lot, Eastern, and haven't been able to kick goals. So here's Chris Bailey kicking for his first from directly in front. He puts it right through the middle.
Light ice for extreme refreshment on tap.
You can only do that in a van you can walk through. The new Mitsubishi Express walk-through van.
Eastern Rangers trailing by 31 points. They've only lost 2 matches this year, to Geelong in round 11 by 10 points and to the Stingrays in round 17 by 26 points. But you would think with the scoreboard reading the way it is, they might go down today. Bailey's kick out towards centre wing makes it a foot race. Now Lowerson, hand pass comes up to Harvey again, gives it away to Jukovic. He's got speed too, clear of Wigney. Has a ping at the goals, and he has just missed.
Gee, I tell you who he reminds me of. He reminds me of Shannon Gibson, who played with the Northern Knights and now at Hawthorn.
Yes.
2 years ago, he kicked a big bag in the final for Northern, and some similarities there between those two players.
Trent Pitts has taken the mark. Well, more Northern players have been drafted by any other side since the under-18s began. Or Fraser, he's got a tap to mark one-handed. He's got the free kick, I think.
They've even moved him down there, aren't they, to try and generate a bit of...
see what happened there. He was
Just a hold there,
free
yes.
kick against Sam Lowson. Not an easy kick from there. He's a long way from goal. Probably would need to kick at 60 metres. Realises that short pass, and that's effective. He's found Wigney, and Wigney now within kicking distance. 18-year-old from Vermont. Was a Victorian Metropolitan under-18 representative this year. Kicks from 49 metres. Tried for distance. Big marking contest down there. Snell, after Whitnell had missed it. Hand pass. Oh, it goes astray, and they might be able to run it out again. Hacked away by Jukovic. Straight up and straight down. Good defence, though, by the Northern Knights. Opportunity now for Trent Pitts. Kicks in towards goal. No mark taken. Well, lets it go. Now he's going to ball it up about 3 metres out from goal. So Shane Clayton getting attention from the trainers there. Got one in the mouth, I think. 32 points the difference with 5 minutes to go before three-quarter time. Finocchiaro's coming back on for the Rangers, and I didn't quite see who went off, Terry.
No, sorry, Pete. I was watching the play up in the forward line there, and this is a very important period here for Eastern just at the moment. They've worked hard to get the ball in there. They need to reward their efforts with a goal here.
Prestigiacomo and Fraser. Prestigiacomo, number 41, taps it to the back. Snell from Trask has a ping. He's registered only one behind.
So there's Jason Snell, who's had a fairly quiet game. He's highly regarded, although he's had 9 kicks and 2 handballs.
Yeah, but under a lot of pressure each time he's got. He has been.
Well, they've all been under pressure, Eastern, haven't they?
But Jason Snell's been one of the big possession winners throughout the competition, and actually won the Coaches Award, where all the opposition coaches vote for the player of their choice.
Daniel Lowther coming back on, the captain of the Northern Knights.
He's kicked over the line.
Well, the umpire...
Simon Nellis, the umpire Simon Nellis.
I reckon you're always stiff if you get caught for that, because even when you watch the seniors, every kick out is over the line by about 2 feet.
Peter, these two umpires have been very good right now. They've been the best 2 out of the total 22 that have been used by Kevin Mitchell, the umpires coach.
Well, they're promising umpires. They haven't made many blues today, that's for sure. As a quick kick comes back, now their chance. Flynn, who's been very, very good, gets it to Haynes. Haynes kicks in the man. Wirapunda was held on to. Free kick. Have to be a free kick. He was held too long, and he'll kick from about 45 metres directly in front, and boy, do they need it.
They certainly do. David Wirapunda now has kicked 49 goals for the season, so his 50th is an extremely important one, and he needs to get it now.
He's kicked 1 today. He was very exciting in that first term when they got in his area. He took a brilliant mark, showed explosive pace. If ever they needed a goal, it's right now. David Wirapunda, just a couple of steps, bang, and he puts it through the middle.
I may be a small businessman, but I'm not short on common sense. In fact, lately, I've got WISE. WISE is the work cover subsidy scheme that helps injured workers get back to work. They're keen to get back and ready to go. And Wise gives you almost $15,000 towards their first year's pay. It's a big offer. And let me tell you, it's a big help.
Phone 9810 63 96.
If you need some extra hands, get Wise.
4 hours till the big one. Geelong and Carlton fighting it out for the AFL Premiership.
Back at the MCG, vital goal kicked by Wirpunda. Tavarico went in solidly, and Wirpunda's got another kick here, 41-66. The difference back to 25 points. He's too far out to score, but that's a mammoth kick right into the goal mouth, and he's registered one behind. Fantastic kick.
I was about to say, Pete, he is a very long kick.
1 goal to David Wirpunda. Player we're certainly going to hear a lot about in the years to come. Mark taken by Lowerson, just up from full back. Kicks to half back, not a good option. King has chipped in to take the mark. He's got it down to Finacaro.
Well, if they can get within 3 goals,
they'd be a chance.
They're right back in it, aren't they?
Yes.
If he kicks this, they're within 3.
Finacaro, the player, just to come back on as Chris Conley swings the changes. Directly in front, about 50 metres from goal. It's drifting off to the far side and through for only one behind. Kicked by Finacaro.
Incredibly, he was recorded as having 43 handballs in one game this particular year. That's his strength in around the contest, as umpire Simon Nellis having a very, very close look there at Matthew Winther.
Cleaning the blood off his arm with his T-shirt, the trainer.
Well, it's one way of doing it, I suppose. So, kick out this time is a little bit better. Mark is taken by Winther, short of half back. That's a real up and down kick, only travels about 35 metres. Whitnell was underneath it. Oh, does well. I said before he's not quick, but he's got good skills. And one of the 2 Whitnells, in fact, they've both done fairly well. Shane Whitnell's kicked 1 goal 2 so far. Edwards goes in solidly. Onto Pitts. Now can they make something of this? The kick up towards half forward came from Trask, and a good mark has been taken by Kane Johnson. Johnson 55 metres out. Wirpunda, oh gee, made a good attempt to mark. Clayton paddles it in front of him. Good tackle, Johnson to Flynn. Tackle came from King. Kicking towards the forward pocket. Would have been a free to the Knights there. Umpire lets it go. It's going out of bounds on the full.
Looking more dangerous now, Easton.
So Winther, after that error, has to stand the mark.
Number 3 here with the ball, Peter Kane Johnson, just starting to get some critical touches in around centre half forward now.
Johnson from the boundary, and he has just missed with that kick.
Long kick.
It was a long kick. 1 behind, his first score of the day, and taking Easton now to 5 goals 14. 44 plays 66, 22 points the difference, close to 3/4 time.
You've been wondering why some of the Eastern guys, as we have a look at their coaching staff, pretty well muscled up. They're coached in the weights by Werner Rita, the Australian discus champion. This is Kane Johnson. Bring it in towards 4 foot. They want a goal here, Easton. They're a big chance. Oh, yes, a very, very good mark, and that was by Snell. And they had 2 options there, Snell and Wirpunda, and Snell has taken the mark.
It's been a good move here from Chris Conley. Snell was soundly held in the first half in the middle of the ground, and now he's gone up into the forward line, and just his sheer class at times will get him possessions, and that was a very strong mark under a great degree of pressure.
Could have almost got 50 metres too, looking at that replay.
He won the Coach's Award this year, and it's a big rap, so he's highly regarded. Snell kicks it. Oh, he might have got this, I think. Yes, he has. So what a handy goal. They're starting to creep back into it. Now the margin is only 16 points.
Well, they've done very well here. I mentioned Johnson starting to get a few touches at centre half forward. Nick Trask playing at half forward, giving a little bit of pace, and David Wirpunda getting in amongst it. But now Snell perhaps can give them that focal point at full forward that they've lacked to date, and be a real focal point in the goal square.
6:14 to 9:12, 16 points the difference, 12 seconds remaining in the 3rd term. Can the Rangers get another goal before 3/4 time? Wigney Taps it straight though to Haydock. Haydock's kick bounces just over the centre square line. Cosson's kick picked up by Harvey. Harvey down towards full forward. Whitnell a chance. Shane Whitnell gathers it right on the siren though. And I think we've got a good ball game for the final quarter. 16 points the difference. The Knights leading 9-12 to 6-14.
It's 1 against 2. A battle of the best. And it's about to begin. Carlton and Geelong are coming your way soon on 7. The 7 Sport Mitsubishi Mark of the Year. Your phone vote could win you a Lancer GLX Coupe. Just dial the phone number you wish to vote for. Mark 1, Paul Kelly, Sydney. Mark 2, Dale Kickett, Fremantle. Mark 3, Gilbert McAdam, Brisbane. Mark 4, Kingsley Hunter, Fremantle. Mark 5, Sean Smith, Melbourne.
Just 16 points the difference at three-quarter time in the VSFL Under-18 Grand Final. The Rangers, the hot favourites going into the match, still in with a chance with just 1 quarter to go. Plenty happening around town with Grand Final breakfasts here, there and everywhere. This time we go out to Flemington Racecourse. It's the Fremantle Dockers inaugural Grand Final get-together. Here's Dave Christensen.
Yeah, thanks very much, Peter. We're at the Flemington Racecourse, the Duke of Norfolk room. This is the Fremantle Football Club, the Dockers' first grand final breakfast. They've got something like 980 people here. Terrific atmosphere. I'm joined by Matthew Spider Burton and Scott Waters, a regular with us on 7 Sport. Spider, a fantastic season.
Yeah, can't really complain, Dave. Yeah, and a good morning here too.
It is a good morning, Scotty. It has been a good season, a very promising start for the Dockers.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we just got to keep it in perspective. It's only a start, and we can't wait for next year now.
Okay, pre-season starts in 2 weeks, I believe. We should find out who you're going for today and why.
I think the Blues, mate. They've only lost a couple of games this year, and I think just through their whole team, they've got a fair bit of strength there, and I just hope it's a good, close game too.
I thought you guys might have had a bit of sentiment for Geelong, having beaten them at the Wacker ground early this year. No sentiment in footy.
I'm backing Geelong. Gary Ablett will kick 7, and they're probably going to win by 2 or 3 today.
All right, Scotty, have a nice break, you guys, because the pre-season starts in just a short time. We look forward to seeing you on the track again. Peter, that's it from here, the Flemington Racecourse, the Dockers breakfast. Back to you at the MCG.
Thanks, Dave, and I think it'd be fair to say he and Scotty Waters might have been standing on a couple of milk crates. Let's go down to Russell Morris now on the boundary. A quarter to go. Fly.
Yes, Pete, just at the ground's been taken up. It's been replaced by lime. It's like a dried up creek bed. It's very, very dry and hard, but I think the players are okay. It's very hard, a bit like concrete, so they're surviving. So I better get off the ground. Just about to start. Bye.
Haven't seen you move so quick in years. First goal vital here, Terry, isn't it?
It is, Peter. Northern really stretched out a little bit after half-time. They're getting the first 2 goals, but Eastern worked extremely hard and kept the ball in their forward line and picked up the 2 goals there, which gave them the real chance through Wirrapunda and Jason Snell now into the forward line. So Chris Connolly has done the right thing. He's put all his good players in the forward line because this game's not here for Chris Connolly and the Eastern Rangers to save. They've really got to go hard and win it, and that first goal will be vital.
Final quarter of the VSFL Under-18 Grand Final for 1995. The Northern Knights going for their 3rd in succession. The Rangers trying to take it from them. Good smother, Haynes. Now Flynn. Kicks to half forward. Good mark. Taken by one of the Whitnells. That's Lance Whitnell. Both the Whitnells have done particularly well. So Graham would be very happy with his sons. This is Harvey, one of the speedsters on the ground. Gives away the hand pass. Bayry's kick up towards full forward. There's the other Whitnell, Shane Whitnell. And this is just what the Eastern Rangers don't want. If he kicks the goal here, well, it won't make the game safe, but it's going to make it very difficult for the Rangers to try to get back.
How ironic, the ball was in Shane Whitnell's hands when the 3/4 time siren went, and he was robbed of an opportunity. But here now, with a very good judgment on the flight of the ball, he takes the mark and has the chance to kick the first for Northern in this final quarter.
Made the Under-18 Metro combined team this year. Whitnell kicks and he goals. So he gets his second, the 3rd Knights player to kick 2 goals. The others are Paul Eccles and Matthew Winther.
But here we see some very good movement out of the centre of the ground there for Brent Harvey has been extremely good in the centre, and his quick hands to Phelan, who continue, Bravery, sorry.
Bravery's been excellent.
Yeah, and an excellent user of the ball on his left foot, and Whitnell in the right spot for the mark.
22 points, the Northern Knights lead. Quick hand pass to Wigney towards Harford. Oh, strong mark. It's Cofford flying over the back. He's been an outstanding player.
Yep.
Off he goes and brings it to centre wing. Here's a man on his own, and it's Prestigi Como as he brings it in towards half forward. It's a mouthful, that one. Down towards Knights foot line. Here's Eccles, bringing it back to his brother. That's Andrew and Paul combining there, and the ball is forced over the line. Number 34 you see on screen is Paul Eccles, who has kicked 2.
Been very good. He's actually, that's 65 for the season, at primarily at full forward for the Northern Rangers, for the Northern Knights, I'm sorry. So it's been very good right throughout the season.
It's the first merger of the year, Terry, you've just brought up there.
Yeah. Well, someone's got to do it sooner or later, Pete.
Right, here's Mayhew coming out of the back line for Eastern. They need 2 or 3 quick goals. It's on centre wing. His power is a very quick player, or just gets his hands to it. Fraser, very athletic, goes inside. There was no one there to grab it though. King tried eventually, and then well, the swarm of Northern Knights players, they come in from everywhere.
Cofford there.
Well, they're tough.
Amongst it, they're very hard at
They're
us.
a very strong tackling side, and well, all the Northern Knights sides we've seen over the years, coached by Keithy Burns, have been real goers. Now here's Fraser, very impressive player, centre wing. There's Bailey, always tough and hard at the ball too, so it'll be a throw in, and he's getting a bit of a clap.
Very good on the left foot, Bailey has been. He's been impressive there. But whether he's just quick enough there out of the blocks.
There's a free kick to Haynes. He goes in very hard after he's tried his heart out, Haynes. Further afield to Mayhew. Mayhew to the half-forward line. A bounce important here. The big thump away by Cofer. Then it's punched away by Fraser. Here's Tallarico bringing it around the boundary line. Racing after it is Haynes. Oh, free kick.
No, mate, no.
Free kick must be to Paul Eccles here, and will be paid. It's on centre wing. Now, Eccles looking with a long one in towards the half-forward area. It's a 2-on-1 contest. The ball hits the deck. Andrew Eccles gets it further field to Harvey. Here's Jukovic, still in play as Jukovic got it. Taken away by King. King to centre wing. And it's handball straight over the line for Eastern by David Cosson.
Playing in the key defence post.
But a very strong player right there. He's played 2 games with Melbourne reserves, and looks a likely type for the defence.
He does. Very solid. Prestigi Como taps it down. Flynn, too congested to try to pick it up, and the umpire will bounce it. So playing into the hands of the Northern Knights, trying to close it up. Eastern trailing 50-72, a 22-point deficit, and at this stage of the match, unless a major turnaround happens, you couldn't see them bridging that gap. Harvey again, the 2 number 11s, they're both pretty quick. Clinton King was the other one, and it's out of bounds, 70 metres from goal. But a very high standard competition is the under-18s. We've seen a few of them now, and they seem to get better every year. The guys, Cosson, quick kick from a standing start. Finocchiaro, kick away by Clinton King, up towards centre wing. Johnson the flyer. Now Cofford, good shepherd by Penn to half forward, and there he is again. Cosson taking the mark, gets it onto Mayhew. Mayhew's kick towards centre wing, and once more the mark taken by Matthew Cofford. He took a real specky earlier in the match, if you caught it. Fantastic grab. And the more the game has gone on, the more confidence that young lad seems to have gathered. Wigney in front, couldn't complete the mark, not got dragged down. Now the hand pass comes out towards Flynn from Jenkins. His kick up towards the centre half forward position. Bounce is going to be a factor. Whitnell, like him. Out wide, Dean Haydock. Pressuring his opponent out there in Pitts. Haydock, still he goes. His opponent got into the back of him. That's going to be a free kick, is it, or is it out of bounds?
Well, Haydock did well not to give away a free kick then, didn't he,
He worked
Terry?
it very, very well in the one-on-one and flicked the ball forward. And then, yes, he does. He receives the free kick here for just too high. Trent Pitts in the tackle on Haydock.
Played in their premiership side last year, the Northern Knights. Haydock's kick towards centre wing. Stigiacomo went up high. Haynes roves it well, couldn't get it to his teammate in Glenn Edwards, number 2, and the umpire will throw it in on that centre wing position in front of part of the Great Southern Stand that's absolutely packed to capacity at the moment. And if you've got a reserve seat, don't worry, nobody will be taking it. As our weatherman David Brown told us earlier, conditions are going to be pretty good. Harvey. Oh, a little bit of a nudge out there by Ames. Umpire lets it go. Mayhew going solidly with Phelan. This way, that way, Phelan has a snap at goal.
Oh.
Over the top was Jenkins, and the ball rushed through for a minor score.
Desperation stakes that.
It was. Very good play there from Luke Jenkins. No hesitation to jump high and spoil the ball very aggressively in towards the behind area.
So time running out for Eastern. Really have to do something in a hurry. Cosson probably should be looking to go straight down the middle at this stage. Oh, this is dangerous. Very, very dangerous. This might cost them, but he's good enough. That Flynn's good enough. Gee, he's been good. He's been very, very good. In towards the centre area. Oh, no mark or free kick. I don't think Chris Connolly will be too happy with that. Quick hand pass out to Flynn. That was from Haynes. Flynn down towards the half-forward area. Here's Weirpunda. Let's see what he can do. He's caught behind on this occasion. Luke Godden's been pretty good, number 18 on him, and he forces it to the line. He's played a good defender's game.
I reckon he's been very, very good. David Weirpunda, an extremely talented player, and Luke Godden has been given the job and has been tight on him all day, been hard and aggressive at the ball. So I think that duel lays with Godden at the moment.
So we see Kane Johnson doing the ruck work against Lance Whitnell. He's a chance for Easton now on the left foot as the long bomb comes in towards goal. It's across the face, and the big fella has missed, and that was Pitts, Trent Pitts. 6:15, 51 to 10:13, 73, and time running out for Easton.
Still got 17 minutes left, Pete, so it's not impossible. But you'd have to think from here, the way Northern are going, that they're going to go on and win this match. Lowther getting underneath it. He's the captain of Northern Knights, and he's also got a good bit of toe. Gives the hand pass away. Thompson on the end of it. Opportunity for Shane Whitnell. If the ball sits kindly for him, it doesn't. And gets a little bit of a helping hand from Simon Mayhew to take the ball over the line. But it's in the left forward pocket for the Northern Knights. Shane Whitnell's kicked 2 goals, 2 so far. And I like the game of his brother at the other end of the ground. We'll be hearing more of both boys, I think, in their football futures. That might have almost been too high on Eccles. The umpire says no. He lets it go. Now they run it away. Mayhew looks for a hand pass. Now he gets dragged out in the process. Breaks it. Tavarico gives away the hand pass. Came to Coford. Phelan, quick hand pass. Eccles gets it back to the goal square, and it's rushed through off the hands of the pack for another minor score to the Northern Knights. Well, they're doing plenty of defending, the Eastern Rangers, at the moment. Ball is going to be kicked in by David Cosson, number 34. As Terry said, is lined up in Melbourne reserves. Many of these players have. 6:15 to 10:14. And just under 16 minutes left in this match, but they need a couple of goals, Pete.
Certainly do, as the kick comes to half-back. A big thump away by Prestigiacomo. Number 48 giving a hand pass over the top is Andrew Eccles. Quick hand pass was from Knott, and the Eastern drive it out towards centre wing. Here's Shane Clayton, has been an excellent defender. Gee, the defence all round has been outstanding. Towards the centre of the ground. And that's Ewan Thompson. Quick kick comes down towards the half-forward line. Racing back after it is Whitney, but he allows it to roll over the line. There's just no spark in Eastern at the moment.
No, and actually young Todd Whitney could have chased that a little bit harder, I reckon.
That's what I was thinking. And
if he watches that again in replay at some stage, he may question it himself. He wasn't hard enough in being able to keep the ball alive.
So here's Fraser on the left foot, or he's kicked it wide in front of the Melbourne members. We just saw a shot of the crowd of the Melbourne members, and certainly the crowd is building up. A couple of the areas are very, very densely populated, as you can see the southern stand there.
They absolutely raced in when the gates were open, Pete. It was like the running of the bulls of Pamplona. And a few got knocked out in the tackles too. It was very, very quick. Prestigiacomo, Simon Prestigiacomo has the ball. He's kicked one behind today. He's done pretty well. He's got a good leap. Quite athletic. He snares this one. It's just about the end for the Rangers, but he hasn't. He's second behind for the, at least, afternoon. Still morning.
He has been very good running around in the ruck. He's taken marks around the ground. He's picked up some 15 disposals. We see the coach of the Eastern Rangers, Chris Connolly, there. Chris, a former Melbourne player, some 84 games for Melbourne, but the career struck short, I think, by knee injuries.
Yes. Yep.
And there's Keith Burns, a tremendous record at junior level, particularly Collingwood under-19s, and now looking for his third consecutive premiership with Northern Knights.
Jukovic was the flyer, tackled by Haynes. He'll get a free kick, Jukovic. He was taken high by that player.
There's a bit of a difference in the hairstyles there.
Yeah, there is. But Mark Haynes, he's been aggressive in it to play. A couple of poor tackles. He's given a couple of free kicks away in tackling too high today.
Andrew Jukovic. Oh, not a bad sort of a roost. Oh, sensational kick. He's kicked a goal.
Mac and fries, please. Hi, Mum.
What the?
Dad.
Well, it's a 5-goal break now after a magnificent kick by Jukovic. Travelled about 55 metres. There's a quick kick by... I have to think twice before I say Prestigiacomo. Down towards Jukovic again, showing some pace. Hotney's hammer was not.
Oh!
And now, was that out in the
yes,
full?
it was.
So a quick little kick around the boundary line. And Jukovic, well, after his last kick, I'd just about back him from here. He'd certainly make the distance, but he's right on the boundary line. Let's see what he can do. No, he's kicked it across the face, and eventually it's helped on its way and through for a behind to Northern. So they lead by 31 points, and well, 12 minutes and 42 seconds left, and I don't think they can do it. I hate to say it for all those Eastern supporters.
They just need to generate more run than what they've been able to do.
Well, they've broken down badly across half forward. They've tried lots of moves to try and get something going there, but the back line for Northern's just been too good. So here they come again from half-back Eastern. This is where they fall down. Well played by Power. On to Flynn, having kicked number 22 for the game. An outstanding effort. Here's Weir Punda against Godden. Well played by Godden. He put the pressure on again. Clayton is there diving. No, Cofer, I should say, diving on top of it. Still battling away, Cofer. Geez, a goer. Socket off the ground. Here's Lance Whitnell. Now Weir Punda. Even he couldn't get his boot to it, and he's pretty quick. Godden charging in after it. And the umpire will have no doubt, but gee, the tackling and harassing of Northern has been fantastic.
Well, that's tremendous there. I don't think they're even going to let their own teammate get out there with the ball. Whatever was going to occur, Northern were going to lock that one down, and Luke Godden there and big Lance Whitnell very strong at it.
Godden, the Lark medalist in the Commonwealth Bank Cup Carnival this year. Prestigiacomo and Johnson, and rushed through for a behind of the Eastern Rangers.
But you mentioned the Lark medal, Daniel Harford, who played with Hawthorn, won it last year, and previous winners, Sean McManus, Danny Southern, and then in years gone by, Stephen Collingwood, and even Paul Salmon.
There's Twiggy Dunn, an old teammate of mine, great centre forward for Collingwood in the box with Northern.
He's been doing a bit of ruck coaching there, Peter, I understand. Wigney takes the mark.
And you know their skills coach is Barry Davis, former Essendon champ in North Melbourne.
Well, he's given away a free kick. It's going to be taken by Lance Whitnell. Kick on to Kofod. Now it comes up to centre wing position. It's Plunkett. Gets around the man on the mark successfully. Spears the pass in towards half forward, and Harvey has taken the grab. One of the quickest players on the ground. Loves to run with the football. Harvey's kick. Wigney underneath it again. Haynes rows it well from the front of the pack. Spins out. Thought about giving it to Jenkins. Does. Jenkins caught. Whitnell. A hand pass. Jenkins again. Unloads to Johnson. That's Kane Johnson. Johnson's kick up over the midfield area. Pinacaro will try to get back, which he does. Can't get there quick enough. His teammates beaten him to it. The kick taken by Trent Pitts. He has a ping at the goals, and he kicked only one behind, I think. Yes, he has. That would have been handy. His first score of the day.
And he's struggling there with cramp there. Yeah. I mean, it's been a big call for Eastern this year. Their training venue out at Croydon has copped some heavy rains at times, and so they've had to be using Box Hill and also Victoria Park, so they may have been caught a little bit underdone in these firm conditions here at the G.
Lowther to Prestigiacomo, up to midfield. Umpire calls play on. Getting back quickly is Winther. He's got some toe, as I mentioned earlier. Winther's kick up towards the forward line, but a good mark has been taken in defence by Joel Ames.
Ames. But there wasn't another Ames playing. We could call them the Ames brothers.
I hear you're going to come out with that one.
Famous singing group. Now here's Jukovic. He's a big kick from 55 metres. He brings it in towards full forward. Whitnell at the back. Couldn't quite hang on to it. And coming away with the ball is Joel Ames again. Gets it out wide to Trask. Trask looking to dummy and give the hand pass off. Trask instead chips it wide, and he finds Haynes. But it's from here on in they've found trouble against that tight northern defence. There's a good mark. He's done well, Damien Knott, since coming on the ground. Stats don't look all that flash, actually, but to us up here, he looked to be playing pretty well. Centre wing, punched away by Clayton. He's played a good, disciplined game. Quick hand pass to Haydock. Centre wing, quick, another good hand pass by Lowther. And Prestigiacomo gets it to the centre of the ground. The mark taken by Lance Whitnell. Off he goes. He wants to give off a hand pass to Haydock again. Haydock runs inside 50. He's got an open goal. He races in. Kicks.
Great work.
And it's a good goal. Great play, Northern.
Haydock's first goal. And
there's a lot going on in the world. Gets busier every day. Doing your job, having a say. Taking your mark or just finding your way. But it's nice to know there's a place to go. At the pub. You're always right at home. At the pub. You never feel alone. At the pub. You're never on your own. 'Cause it's all going on at a pub near you.
53 to 88, 35 points the difference now in the under-18s grand final. So it's going to be 3 in a row. Bailey takes the hand pass. He can kick another one. Runs his full distance. Kicks from 30 metres out. But he's registered only a minor score. 1-2 to Chris Bailey. Started the day in Guernsey number 7. So what's that? 36 points the difference now. David Cosson to kick in again. Cosson, well, predictably straight up the ground. Haynes in front. Punched away by Prestigiacomo. Taken by Flynn. Rangers' best player.
23 kicks, mate.
We're punned a great mark in front of Godden. They've had a good duel. Maybe Godden's just shaded him, but the lack of opportunities would be one reason. We're punters certainly made the most of those that he's had. Kick towards half forward. Hand pass comes out to Matthew Power, who started on the bench today, and chipping in to take the mark is King. Clinton King.
He's certainly been in among it, Peter. He has some 15-odd disposals throughout the day.
Yes,
hasn't scored a goal
early.
Yeah.
17-year-old from Heatherdale. He kicks at goal. Have to wait on the goal umpire for this one. Well, they would have been handy, but only one behind.
Well, as a rover, he played 17 games throughout the year and just 16 goals, so just average of 1 goal a game. We need a little bit more than that.
There's Noel Stevens there with Northern Knights, his son of Harvey Stevens, a great Footscray ruckman down there.
Kofod takes the mark, just up from the back pocket. It's been fairly busy. And a good mark now to Shane Clayton. He was in the grand final side last year and has certainly go on in his football career next season.
I mentioned Noel Stevens. He does a bit of phys ed work with Northern. He's been with them for years. Here's Lance Whitnell. I reckon the scouts will be after this bloke.
He's been good, hasn't he?
Oh, yes. Good player.
I think we'll find he's too young for this draft, though, Peter. He's another year off, Lance.
I mean, oh, gee, they'll all be chasing him in a year's time. Now, here's Haynes. He's tried his heart out. Gets onto his right boot and brings it back towards centre wing. Oh, look at this. There's a wall of them there. And taking his mark is Haydock. About 4 players could have taken that mark. Into Bailey, who's been good. Bailey chipping it across, and he's found Whitnell. And Whitnell, they're playing with confidence now. There's loose men all over the place. Oh, he kicks on the left foot. That is a beautiful kick. And he's found his teammate out there in Tallarico about 40 metres from goal directly in front.
He looks
magnificently placed kick.
Cramp, is it? Yes.
Well, I'm not sure of how accurate my statistics are, but young Adrian here has played mainly in the back pocket, half-back flank, and I don't think he's kicked a goal this year by my stats. So here's another back pocket getting down there to have a kick at.
You'd back him to miss there.
No, he'll kick it.
Well, here he is, Adrian Tallarico from 40 metres. And has he done the back pockets trick?
Yeah.
You can bet on it every time.
Well, I tell you what, you knew one thing, he wasn't going to give a hand pass out.
Did you kick any goals, Terry, in your league career?
They were few and far between.
As I said before, they'll go on to become coaches, the back pocket players, don't they? This is not taking the mark. Fraser has to wait for it, which he does. Gets back onto the right foot. And centering kick towards centre half forward. Covered went down at the tackle. Picked up by Finacaro, a snap at goal. And what's he done? That looks pretty good. He's kicked it.
You can only do that in a van you can walk through. The new Mitsubishi Express walk-through van.
Foster's Light Ice for extreme refreshment on tap.
Margin 5 goals. Outstanding performance by Northern. Once again, there's Fraser. He's caught. That's holding the ball. And, they're allowing to go on with it here as the ball spilt free. Thompson down towards the full forward area. Socket through. That was by the Eastern player. So it'll be a point on the board to Northern.
Peter, umpire Nellis was the umpire to call that on, and I think both umpires have been very good. They've umpired at this level right throughout the year. They also do some VFA reserves umpiring, so it's great that they can remain at this level and get a big game as this grand final is.
Dangerous kick has gone straight to Brent Harvey. He's been very, very good. Number 11, real quick little rover.
Looks a cheeky rover, doesn't he?
Eh? And he's backed himself in. He's had over 20 possessions, and he's run bouncing the ball a lot today, which has been quite exciting to watch. So Brent Harvey, for his first goal of the game, he kicks a high one. May have hooked it slightly. I think he has. And it's only a behind the Northern. But the time clock ticking right down, only a couple of minutes to go. There's the coach's box. There's Keith Boone. You see Twiggy Dunn up to the right. An old teammate of mine in the middle there, Maxie Richardson, a great player for Collingwood. They've got a good coaching staff.
Jason Snell takes the mark. Out to Fraser. Kick to centre wing. King gets it back inboard. Tried to get it to Trask. Not. Gets the hand pass away. Again King and Fraser. Certainly been one of their better players. He and Flynn. Haynes at right half forward. And the mark taken down there by Dion Festini, who's kicked 2 goals. And I think I should add from that, limited opportunities. 2 kicks, 2 goals. You can't do much better than that. Right on the boundary line. Up and under drop. That is a good mark. It's taken in the forward pocket. It's by Johnson, it is, yes.
Yeah, a good mark there from Kane Johnson. Was able to judge the ball. Certainly hasn't been one of his better days. He captained the Victorian side at the Commonwealth Cup level.
And
needs to come around and hasn't.
So no, a day he'd prefer to forget, I think, unfortunately. Started at centre-half back and has been moved to centre-half forward in the second half of the game. But you look at that scoreline of 7 goals, 19. Well, really, Eastern Rangers haven't got much to argue about other than their own ability to convert those chances they get.
So 31 points the difference. Kicking again by Penn. Marking contest at half-back. Shuffled out to Haynes. On to Flynn. A high kick. Should bounce the way of Clayton. It does, or it did. Now a chance for the Rangers. We're Punter getting back. And one behind. Goals would have been handy. A goal.
Nick Trask there, he's worked hard right throughout. His pace has been quite invaluable around the half-forward line, and kicked 1 goal in the second quarter.
Got 4 last week.
Yeah, good little sneak, good goals.
Trask is 17-year-old from Vermont. Oh, there he is again, number 50. Lance Whitnell, long kick up towards centre wing. Hand pass is effective to Eccles. It's back to Coford. It's out of bounds.
No, he's really impressed me, young Coford.
He took a great mark, didn't he? That one down near the goal square at the other end.
Better football than his old man.
Well, go on, you better elaborate now.
Bruce was a pro runner and footballer at Greensborough, but you'll understand my little comment there as we see the ball kicked by King down towards half forward, taken away by Johnson, onto Flynn. Flynn's been fantastic. Yeah. Geez, look at the balance and look at the low trajectory kick. That was beautiful football, and it really did deserve a goal. Even though he's in the losing side, he's not far off best man on the ground, in my opinion.
He's worked very hard. I mean,
he's had 32 possessions.
Yeah, 32 possessions, and there's been a lot of strong work as well. Some tackling, shepherding, him where it was very hard. He was there early.
He's got class. And there's Shane Clayton trying to peel for the mark. The umpire having none of that. Coford battling his heart out. Taken away by Snell, who's been relatively quiet. Here's King on the left boot, in towards the pocket. And the ball forced over the line.
So not long to go in the match now, about half a minute. It's going to be the 3rd in succession for the Northern Knights. They won at 93-94 underdogs today, but they're going to take it out. They've led all day. Prestigiacomo taps down. Snap at goal by Fraser. Good tackle by Godden. He's had the job on Weir Punter and done pretty well. That might be out of bounds on the full. It is. Now who's going to take it? Well, they're taking it pretty quickly, not wasting any time. Flynn again. Sensational game from him. And there's the siren to end the match. Northern Knights have won their 3rd premiership in succession. A great coaching feat by Keith Burns. 12-20-92, defeating Eastern Rangers 7-21-63. They led all day. A few nerves might have accounted for a couple of mistakes made by Rangers early in the first quarter, but the Knights were never headed. Rangers made a couple of thrusts at them, but Knights had the answers pretty well from go to woe, Terry.
They did, Peter. I mean, an exceptional performance, 3 in a row. But the Eastern Rangers, they've really struggled in the early years of their formation. And Chris Connolly and Peter Kennedy, they've done a very good job to get the side up here this year. But they've run into a brick wall here today. The Northern Knights side have been very good right from the start. A strong defence really initiated the game, I think, for them. And plenty of run through the midfield, set up what is a very, very good victory for Northern Knights.
They've got terrific team spirit, Terry, as you can see, and well, obviously after you won a grand final, but I think they are a hard tackling. Every Northern Knights side we've seen in this competition each year is hard tackling, ferocious chasing, and it's hard to beat a side like that.
It sure is. All right, let's go down to the boundary now, and Russell Morris.
Yeah, we've got Daniel Lowther, the captain of the Northern Knights. Congratulations, mate. 3rd one in a row. How's it feel?
Bloody fantastic. Boys worked hard for 10 months, and it's good to see the hard work's paid off this year.
What about you going in as underdogs and Rangers beat you by 7 goals during the year, but what did Keith have to say before the match?
Well, last week beat the Stingrays by pressure and hard tackling in tight in the pack, so this week it was kind of the same stuff and paid off.
What have you got to say to your mates watching?
G'day.
Plenty of beers tonight, lots of fun?
Oh, no.
No, all soft drinks, you're all underage, we can't say that, can we? Mate, you better get back, all the boys are having a good song.
Thanks, mate.
Congratulations, have a great day.
Thanks, mate.
Never stopped you, Russell, did it? Well, what can we say about Eastern Rangers? Great progress from last year, Terry. They came right up the table. They headed the ladder, finished on top, beaten only twice during the home and away series. And there's a lot of great talent out there. And Pete was saying just towards the end of the match that Flynn probably BOG, and I wouldn't argue with that. Haynes played well. Johnson. We're Punter are going to hear plenty of about that young man. But today just wasn't their day.
No, it wasn't. You know, it's important now Chris Connolly really wraps this up for his players, because I think it's been a tremendous effort for them to come on and get to where they've come from. The Eastern Rangers, they're really establishing themselves as a club out around the Croydon area there. And you know, some of the players from last year, like Brett Chandler, played with Fitzroy this year, Danny Hargraves, Brad Nicholson, Raiden Tallis, and Chris Scott, the rookie of '94 out of Eastern Rangers. So they really are establishing a very good base out there, and today will do their reputation as an up-and-coming football club, no harm whatsoever.
Yes, when you do a match like this, you look forward to the draft just to see where the players finish up for their AFL careers. Keith Burns, victorious coach today, 3 in a row. He'd be pretty happy, Russell Morris, I think, wouldn't he?
He certainly is, Peter. Bit misty around the eyes, Burnsy?
Yeah, shed a tear or two, not frightened too either.
Oh, that's fantastic, mate. 3rd in a row?
Yes. We've got a group of young boys, and coming into the finals they were boys, but now they're men, and they played that way.
You must be very, very proud.
Extremely proud. I reckon it was the best effort of the 3, was this one, because they're so young.
What did you say to the guys going in as underdogs? Would you prefer to do it that way?
I think it's always easier as a coach to be underdog, because you can always fly, but we played our own game. We weren't worried about Eastern and setting up defensive measures. We play an offensive game, and we played that, and we worked hard on our defence when they had the ball, and that was the simplicity of it.
What was the difference between playing them earlier in the year when they knocked you off by about 7 goals and today?
Just our maturity. We've grown a lot. They've learned a lot about footy, and you know, that helps. And in the finals, in the first final, they were a little bit underdone in experience, but they grew each week as they come along. And finals is about taking that little 5% step, and these boys took 5% each week, and consequently today they showed how they wanted to win, and that's a key to playing football. Having that desire, that steely desire, to use Tony Shaw's word, steely desire to win.
Congratulations, Burnsy. Have a great day.
We will.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Good on you, Burnsy, and thanks to Keith too for his help during the week, and also to Chris Connolly and Peter Kennedy from the Rangers for giving us all the stats and information about the players. It's time for the presentation now, so the man to do that is, of course, Craig Willis. Here he is.
Thank you, Peter. Ladies and gentlemen, to make the presentation in the VSFL Under-18s Premiership, allow me to introduce to you the Managing Director of the Transport Accident Commission, Mr. James McKenzie, who will begin by presenting the medallion to the player adjudged best on ground today. And the winner is Brent Harvey of the Northern Knights. To present the grand final trophy, the Live and Learn Cup, I'll ask Mr. McKenzie to present it to the Northern Knights captain, Daniel Lowther. Say a few words, Daniel. 3 in a row.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. Firstly, I'd like to thank the TAC Learn and Live for their hard work through the year. Northern Knights supporters every week coming out to support us. It's a great feeling. And the Eastern boys, bad luck boys, but good luck next year. That's all.
Well done, Daniel. Congratulations. And I'd invite you now to take your team on a lap of honour here at the MCG.
So the Northern Knights to do their lap of honour, and it will be interesting to see who gets drafted to where. I mentioned earlier that more players have been drafted from the Northern Knights than any other club in Australia since the inception of the Under-18s, and after they have won the flag here again today, maybe that trend will continue. But some great talent out there on both sides, And our congratulations to both teams for making the grand final. There can only be one winner today. For the third year in succession, though, it is the Northern Knights. Grand final day 1995. We'll take a break from the MCG. Back in a moment.